Folks, it's time to do a safety video, all right? And I'm gonna tell you a story that actually popped up in my Facebook feed, and it was actually being reshared from 10 years ago or more. It's the right time of year to share this kind of a story, but you know, it's not a good one. But the fact remains that tractors, equipment are dangerous pieces of machinery. There's a million ways that you can die or get injured on these things, and most of it seems pretty harmless starting out until the accident occurs, and it's just one of those things you wish you could take back. So I'm gonna read you the story here, and you know, it's more of that periodic reminder to not get lackadaisical when you're on your tractor, not to do something stupid or skip a safety step that you've done every other time, but nothing happened every other time either, so this time you're not gonna do it, and then that's when an accident happens. So anyway, here we go. In May of 2013, I purchased my first ride-on lawnmower. My oldest son, now 14, is a responsible kid and was more than capable of mowing our lawn. The first day we got it, our son told his best friend and little brother to hop on for a ride. At first I told him no, that I didn't want him on it because it was all new to him and he needed to make sure he knew how to handle it cautiously, as it wasn't a toy. I remember specifically telling him that there was a 54-inch deck of sharp blades underneath that he couldn't see. By the second day, we had felt like it wasn't a big deal for our youngest to sit on his big brother's lap, as long as he was straddled between his legs and in what was considered a safe or invulnerable position. The first time they mowed the lawn together, I posted a picture to my Facebook. They looked cute and loved doing it together. It was only a matter of minutes before a friend of mine who owns and operates his own lawn maintenance company and has extensive knowledge of large ride-on mowers posted a comment warning me of the danger of kids riding on mowers. His comment or post wasn't rude or nasty, it was very polite and considerate. It was obvious he wasn't out to be judgmental, but only wanted the best for our son. I took note of his comment and dismissed it, immediately thinking to myself, I'm not one of those overprotective parents. Kids can get injured doing anything. I've never heard of a kid falling off a lawnmower and getting injured. And plus, there isn't enough space between the ground and the mower deck for anything to get between the two if somehow he were to fall off. He'll be fine. I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen our two boys mowing the lawn together in the past year. Each time with our younger son looking safe and secure between the two legs of our older son, who was 6 foot tall and 190 pounds. Sunday evening, August 17th, I was working from home and heard the lawnmower running. I went out to the front deck to check on them, and Grady appeared to be safely between the legs in a stable position. I took a picture of them, and like I normally do when I get a cute pic of my kids, I was proud and posted it to Facebook with a comment, Drew teaching Grady how to mow the lawn. Roughly a half hour after taking the picture of the two of them, I heard a blood-curdling scream from my 14-year-old coming from our back lawn. I immediately knew what happened and remembered my friend's warning. I turned my head and saw our oldest son running toward the house with his arms flailing. I then heard our 9-year-old's horrific screams. As I ran outside and saw my youngest son lying on the ground in what can only be described as a horrific sight. He lay there in disbelief, staring back and forth between his feet and my eyes, with his eyes almost bulging from their sockets. His cries and looks as he continued to look back and forth between his feet and my eyes could only be described as looking at me in disbelief, shock, and wondering if this was a horrible nightmare. As his brother turned a sharp corner with the mower, he fell off the side. Both his feet had gone underneath the mower deck. He had lost his two smallest toes from his right foot and a portion of the foot below the two small toes. He lost his big toe from the left foot, a portion of his left heel, and his left foot was severed about 3 inches below his ankle, hanging on by a thin layer of skin at the bottom. I picked my son up and ran to the passenger seat of the closest vehicle, telling my oldest son to quickly get his mom and the keys. I remembered wrapping my son's feet in a bath towel on the ride to the hospital, the entire time praying with him. Besides prayer, my only thoughts were worrying that his left foot was going to fall off while I was holding him. I wanted to make sure if it fell off, he would not see it and I could hide it from him. God answered our prayers and his foot never completely came off. After a frantic drive to our local hospital's ER where his feet were wrapped and secured, Grady was airlifted to Boston's Children's Hospital. We have been here at the Children's Hospital for the last 13 days and will probably be here for a couple more weeks before being transferred to an inpatient rehab facility where we have been told to expect to be there for 2 or 3 months. I write this with the sole purpose of saving other parents and kids from going through this. Please learn from our mistakes. There was an immense amount of guilt felt in the immediate aftermath by both my wife, I, and our two boys. While we have chosen as a family to only look ahead, it is important for me to know that others can learn from our mistakes. Please never allow a young child on a lawnmower with moving blades. If you see someone allowing a young child to ride on a mower, either in person or in a posted picture, please warn them of the dangers. You can't make your friends make wise decisions, but you can tell them our story if they question your advice. So folks, that's, not exactly an awesome story by any stretch of the imagination, but it is reality of what can happen. And that's not the only time that's happened either. But again, it's just, we try to make fun videos. This just isn't one of them. This is a safety reminder video to keep it in the forefront of your mind, whether you're with somebody else or not. But there's been folks that have been on tractors going down the road, like on an old Ford 9N or something like that, and they hit a bump, bounce off, go into a ditch, break their neck, or bounce down, get a leg trapped in a tire, get underneath and get ran over and killed that way. So just having a second person on your machine, whether it's a little lawnmower or a bigger tractor, if it's not designed to do that, don't do it. You're just asking for problems to happen, and most of the time it's not, right? And you're gonna think everything's just fine. It only takes one time. Folks, we are proud to be sponsored by RimGuard Solutions, a liquid ballast weight. It goes right inside your tires, completely hidden. Not only is it gonna help with safety, keeping those rear tires planted on the ground, it helps with loader efficiency and traction too. The benefits of RimGuard include being the heaviest all-natural liquid ballast weight on the market. It's not gonna corrode your rims like the old calcium chloride. It's not gonna freeze, and it's available at over 1,000 dealers nationwide. Find the dealer near you at rimguardsolutions.com. So, you should almost just go to our last video that we did in December on this topic and read through. There's 293 comments, I think it is, on there right now. A lot of them with their own examples of different situations or different injuries or almost or what ifs or could have happens that have come up. But there's just so many ways to get hurt in your tractor. So, I'll just read off a few of these. My grandma's cousin died on the family's chicken farm at 17. She was on the farm all bush hogging a hill, going in a horizontal pattern. Okay, I'm assuming horizontal, like along the hillside. And she flipped and the steering wheel went right through her chest, cutting her in half in front of her boyfriend, who later committed suicide because of what happened after seeing it all. A few weeks later, they lit the tractor on fire on purpose and blew it up when the fire was out and crushed it to pieces. The tractor had bad luck and wanted it destroyed. My uncle died in a tractor accident. He was very experienced. 40 years of tractor use on his farm. He was alone, so not exactly sure what happened. Whether you're new to tractors or not, point being, it can happen. This guy was lucky. I rolled my tractor 2 years ago and it landed on top of me. I almost thought I was gonna die. Please listen to this 6 decades of experience, especially if you have a loader, but all attachments also. The lowest you can safely operate the bucket or the attachment, the better. Keep it as close to the ground as possible. Go as slow as you can reasonably operate. Trying to gain a few seconds by going faster can cost you your life. I am a seatbelt ROP survivor. While bush hogging on a hillside, a rock started the slow roll. Just as I was warned, I wanted to leave the tractor in the wrong direction, but the belt stopped me to tuck my limbs back by the seat and finish the roll to the side. Unsnapping the belt dropped me out of the seat to climb back up and walk to my neighbor's home with only my pride injured. It was a Friday evening with folks hanging out together by their trucks. I told my buddy I needed help getting my tractor uprighted. The stories I heard while neighbors helped me, they all knew someone who died while using a tractor. ROPS isn't enough and useless without wearing the seatbelt. I walked over to see what my neighbor and his brother were doing one day and found them digging a hole to set a large post. They hit a big root about 3 foot down in the hole, so they hitched a chain to it and the other end straight up to the 3-point lift arm on their tractor. They raised the lift up so tight that the rear tires were compressed, but the root didn't budge. So his brother grabbed a hatchet and leaned down, head and shoulders into the hole, and started hacking at the root. I hollered, "Chuck, what's going to happen when that root breaks?" Chuck got up, looked at the tension chain, and said, "Oh." These were 2 really smart guys, both expert mechanics, but they were so wrapped up in that job that they lost sight of the danger. My grandpa was killed by his tractor when he tried to come up out of a field onto the main road. It flipped back because of the upward slope. He could have used the field access, which was not far away, but he tried to go up the ditch instead. I never got to meet him. Take tractor safety seriously. I almost died on my tractor in December. I got close to an irrigation ditch that I could not see due to the weeds. Front tire fell into an eroded hole. I stopped, put it into reverse. As soon as I let out the clutch, the ground gave way. I jumped, landed in the bottom of the ditch, and the tractor flipped twice, following and landing on me. I broke 3 ribs, punctured a lung, and injured my spleen, pancreas, and my ego. I got lucky. Point being, folks, there are tons of stories that most of us haven't heard about, and you can see through these comments how many different situations come up that you just wouldn't think it just changes your life. So there you go. Be safe on your machines. Live to get on another day and have some more fun, because they are fun, right? They accomplish work but they're just amazing tools. You got to respect them. Get set up with ballast weight. We talk all about it. And if you need ballast weight or you're not sure what to get, shoot us an email. We can tell you, add this much weight for this size tractor, or get some wheel weights and some 3-point weights, some suitcase weights, some rim guard, whatever you need. But just don't go out there thinking, today it's not going to happen to me. So if you need some ballast or some attachments, go to goodworkstractors.com. Other than that, thanks for taking time to stop by, and until next time, stay safe. We'll see you soon.